In this lecture, I will continue our discussion regarding R and S nomenclature of chiral carbon. And I am going to introduce three new terms today. They are stereoisomers, enantiomers, and homomers. Stereoisomers are two or more molecules when they differ only 3D arrangement of connecting groups or atoms, then they are called stereoisomers. Let us consider this molecule. Here, the central carbon, it is attached with four different groups or atoms. One yellow and orange, this is white, and this blue ball. Then this is also a molecule where this carbon is attached with orange, yellow, then blue and white. That means in both the cases, connectivity are same. The carbon is connected in the same manner. But the difference arises because the 3D arrangement of these four groups and 3D arrangement of these four groups, they are different. And this type of molecules are called stereoisomers. Now, we know that these two are stereoisomers. Now, these two stereoisomers, what is their relationship? Their relationship is mirror image, and not only mirror image, they are non-superimposable mirror image. And therefore, these two stereoisomer is called enantiomers. Then homomers, they are identical compounds. Suppose if I have these two compounds, they are not mirror image of each other, and they are superimposable with each other, and they are therefore identical, and they are called homomers. Now what we know that these two are enantiomers, and we also know how to determine the configuration of chiral carbon using CIP rule. What we have to do, we have to view this molecule like this, so that this lowest priority group will be away from the viewer, right? And according to viewer, we have give the priority to the colored atoms. This blue is the first priority, this is second, and this orange is third, and then this is clockwise direction, and therefore the configuration of this particular carbon is R. And since this is the enantiomer, therefore this will be the S. Now we will do few observation with this molecule where the configuration of carbon is R, right? Now suppose in this molecule I am keeping this particular bone, right? This particular bone I am keeping in a fixed position, right? Now if I want to bring this orange to blue's position, then what it will happen? Yes, orange will go to blue's position, but blue will take the position of the yellow, and yellow will come to the orange position. Again, suppose I want to bring blue to yellow's position. Yes, blue will come to yellow's position, but yellow will take the orange position, and orange will take the blue position. That means what I am doing, I am exchanging three bonds together, right? And that will not change the configuration of the molecule because same molecule it is. Same way, suppose I can fix any one of the bone, right? Any one of the bone, direction of any one of the bone I can fix, and then I can do the same exercise. Suppose this yellow will go to blue's position, but blue will come to white's position, and white will go to yellow position. That means three groups exchange are taking together, right? And this particular operation will not change the configuration of the molecule because this is the same molecule. I have not done any change here, right? Again, one more operation I can do. Suppose this is the orange ball and this is the yellow ball, and this blue ball is above the plane and this is below the plane. We know these things very well. Now suppose I want to bring this yellow ball to orange ball's position. Then what I will do, yes, make it, yeah, it is coming here. Then see what happened to the blue ball, right? This bone is going below the plane, right? Initially it was above the plane, but now it is below the plane, and this white ball, this bone is coming above the plane. That means if we try to exchange two bones, then other two bones position will also exchange. That means two pairs of bone can be exchanged, right? And that will not change the configuration. Now, suppose I am trying to exchange these two bones, right? At any cost, actually, this I cannot do. What I have to do, I have to just break, right? Then I have to put it here. I have to put this one here. Then what I will observe, that this molecule whose configuration is S, right? They are now identical. See, yes, they are superimposable with each other, right? That means the R configuration is converted into S, and this particular situation is called inversion of configuration. Then what is the conclusion we can draw is that exchange of three groups or atoms by keeping one bone fixed in a chiral compound will not change the configuration. Then two pairs of groups we can exchange together. It will also not change the configuration, but one pair of bone, if we want to exchange, then that is possible only by baking and breaking of bone, and that will actually invert the configuration of the chiral compound, right? Suppose if it is R, then if I break and make two bones, that is a pair, then it will invert the configuration to the S. We will do a problem. This is a molecule where the carbon is attached with four different atoms. These atoms are iodine, fluorine, chlorine, and bromine, right? Now, how to assign the priority of these four atoms? It is according to their atomic weight, right? Now we know that iodine is having the highest atomic weight, right? Therefore, this will be number 1 priority. It will get the number 1 priority. Then bromine will get the second priority. This will get the third priority, and chlorine, it will get the fourth priority, right? Now, according to CIP rule, how we have to observe the molecule? The lowest priority group should be away from your eyes, right? Then how to do that? What we'll do, we'll fix this bone, right? We'll fix this bone. Its priority is 3. Then I will bring fluorine to iodine's position. Yes, fluorine will go to iodine's position. Then iodine will come to bromine's position, and bromine will go to chlorine's position. What I have done? I have fixed this bone and I did 3 group exchange. And what we came to know that, right, 3 group exchange, by keeping one particular bone fixed, it will not change the configuration, right? Now, what I have actually done, this group I am bringing below the plane, right? This is number 1. This is my number 2, right? Now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? What is this path? This is a clockwise path, and therefore its configuration is what? Your R. And this is the way how we can determine the configuration of a molecule. Our next problem is this one. This is a chiral carbon. It is attached with a methyl group. CH3 is methyl group. Then one hydrogen. This is hydroxy group, and this is chlorine, right? Now, how to determine the priority, or how to assign the priority of these groups or atoms? What we have to consider? We have to consider the atom which is directly attached to the chiral carbon, right? Now, here this carbon is directly attached to the chiral carbon. O is attached to the chiral carbon, Cl and hydrogen, right? Now, how to give the priority? Here, the chlorine will be the highest atomic weight atom, therefore it is 1. Then this is oxygen, right? Oxygen will get second priority. This carbon will get third priority, and hydrogen will get the fourth priority. Again, this group is above the plane, but according to CIP, this group should be away from the eyes, or it should be below the plane, right? Then what we will do? we'll make, suppose this time we'll make this bond fixed, right? Okay, OH will be fixed. OH, this bond is fixed. This is 2. Then what I will do, this hydrogen I will bring to chlorine's position. Yes, hydrogen will come to chlorine's position. Then where chlorine will go? Chlorine will go to CH3's position and CH3 will come here, right? This is first, this is our 3, this is my 4, right? Then 1, 2, 3, again, this is again what? This is clockwise path, therefore the configuration of the molecule is what? R. And this is the way how we can determine the configuration of a chiral carbon.